What's up, guys? It's Josh here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to properly fillet a speckled perch or a crappie. Today I'm going to be showing you how to properly clean it without having any bones or scales in your meat. It's relatively an easy process. Today I have a speckled trout. A relatively smaller guy, not too big, probably about almost just a shot under 12 inches. You can see that the previous one that I had done, these are the fillets, and you can tell that that is all meat. There's no bones or scales. Very, very nice. So today I'm going to be showing you how to clean this guy, and it's relatively easy. The one thing that you're going to need is a sharp knife and a clean cutting surface. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to make an incision on the top of, oh, this guy's still alive. You are going to be making an incision right above the dorsal fin, just making a small incision, roughly about no more than a ½ inch up, and then cutting towards the mouth, keeping that ½ inch incision all the way up above, right before the back end of the mouth. You can see where it opens up, so your knife wants to stop about right here, and then making a cut all the way along underneath his belly, and that's where you want to stop. So let me go ahead and cut that right there. Give you guys a good view. So this right here is where I'm going to be starting my incision. Just going to puncture it with a knife. Right there. Okay, and now I'm making small little ½ inch incisions, staying right along the bone line, right along the bone line, and then coming back when you stop right above the back fin, you want to go ahead and insert the knife all the way through, but don't cut the tail. Don't cut this fillet all the way to the end, because you want to use that and you want to hold the fish so you can fillet it. So what I like to do now is, now that I have made the incision, you can see that it's roughly really small. Here's the fin. Okay, so you can see where my incision is, right along it. And I've stopped about an inch right above where the back fin starts. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the fillet meat, and you're going to start separating and gently grazing above the rib cage, and start grazing it down until, yeah, you're going to start grazing until you hit that rib cage. That sound right there is the rib cage. That's bone. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make the next incision, which is going kind of a crescent shape along the back side of the head, which should take just a couple seconds. And you're not cutting the head off, you just want to make the incision just to where you can feel the bones. Okay, so I made that incision with the knife, and that's all clear. So this is the beginning of one side of your fillet. We're going to be doing the exact same thing to the other side. Okay, so with that, we're going to continue the process of cutting and start separating the meat right along gently without tearing up the meat. Into And another important thing that you don't want to do, especially with some wildlife, if you are doing this, this is a general tool to be using when cutting any kind of wild game, is not busting the pouch where all the guts are at, the stomach and things like that. So now you can see that it's all coming together, and I'm just gently grazing. And then when you get to the last part where you can see light, you want to just take the knife and just puncture right through it. Okay, so you can see that that's all meat. All meat. Not very much, but it is meat. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take the knife and just cut right to where we left off, right in here. Okay. There's the meat. Now what we're going to do is we're going to separate it from the fish. Okay. And it's important to know that the belly meat is generally not prized meat in a fish because of the way that the fish happens to move. It's kind of like humans, you know, a lot of the weight that we have is generally on our stomachs, a little fatty area and stuff like that. Sometimes it can contain mercury with fish and other byproducts that would be harmful. Not in all cases, but in some fish, sometimes you have to be careful where you catch it or not. Okay, so right here, this is where we have the fillet. This right here is all skin, and you can see that the bones are all right here. There may be a little bit of meat right here, but that's okay. It's just a small fish. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to flatten out the meat, and we're going to grab, I'm going to try and set the camera down. We're going to make sure we got this angled right. Okay. Now what we're going to do is take your meat kind of at a 45-degree angle, cut down until you hit the skin, then level out, and then graze your knife. Keep it tight. Voila. That is all meat. There's no bones. It's not very much, but if you catch, you know, 20 or 30 of these guys in one day, you're gonna have yourself a nice stack of meat, which is pretty good. All right, so moving on to the next fish, or to the next side of the fish.